Hello, I'm Miss Beasley, and along with Miss Egan, we deliver the A-level Classical Civilisation from the OCR. So this is Greek and Roman history woven together, which have been the foundation of our Western culture for centuries, millennia even. Things like politics, history, the arts, literature, drama, sculpture, maybe even religion, and actually fashion. So the OCR's A-level in Classical Civilisation has been designed to provide learners with a broad, coherent and rewarding study of the literature and culture of the classical world. It offers learners the opportunity to study elements of the literature, visual, material culture and thought of the classical world and acquire an understanding of their social, historical and cultural contexts. So what will you learn? In the world of the hero, one of three components, you will study Homer's Odyssey and Virgil's Aeneid. This has an exam at the end of year 13, which is 2 hours and 20 minutes and is 40% of your course. In culture and the arts, which is 30% of your course, you will study Greek theatre with these three plays: Oedipus the King, Bacchae and Frogs. In beliefs and ideas, also 30% of your qualification, we study love and relationships. So that's Plato, Seneca, Sappho, the poet, and Ovid, the Roman poet. So the world of the hero, Odysseus. The poems of Homer were considered by the Greeks themselves to be a foundation of Greek culture, standing as they do at the beginning of the Western literary canon. This component provides learners with the opportunity to appreciate the lasting legacy of the Homeric world and to explore its attitudes and values. The epics of Homer, with their heroes, gods, and exciting narratives, have been in continuous study since their conception and remain popular with learners and teachers today. So the characterization and themes in the Odyssey, we will cover obviously the structure and plot of the epic, the language, the speeches, the context, the transmission of the text, the oral tradition, the concept and values of a hero, including the ideas of the time, like honor and reputation, the idea of nostos, of disguise, of recognition, and of obviously the fantasy and supernatural, because the gods and goddesses are with him every step of the way. But of course, what have the Romans ever done for us? This component also provides learners with the opportunity to appreciate Virgil's Aeneid, a cornerstone and landmark in Western literature. Drawing inspiration from Homer, as well as from his own cultural and political context, Virgil explored what it was to be a hero in the Roman world and created a work which has proven enduringly popular. It is an epic Latin poem written between 29 to 19 BCE that tells the legendary story of Aeneas, a Trojan who fled the fall of Troy and travelled to Italy, where he became the ancestor of the Romans. You do not need to know Latin or Greek for this course. We will read everything in translation in English. So in culture and the arts, we've chosen Greek theatre. You will study the visual and material culture. You will study the mechanics and productions of plays in ancient Greece, as well as close analysis of Oedipus the King by Sophocles, Bacchae by Euripides, and Frogs by Aristophanes. There will be interpretation of themes and motifs by ancient and modern audiences, though you will study the representation of themes and motifs in visual artifacts and records, such as pottery. In love and relationships, we study poetry. So that's Sappho, who's a 7th century BCE Greek poet, and the Roman poet Ovid, not his Metamorphoses, but his Amores, written in about 16 BCE. You will study the representation of love and desire, men and women, sex, marriage, society and values, and there will be comparisons between the views in literature and the thoughts put forward by Plato and Seneca, and societal ideas about men, women, and marriage. So Plato and Seneca are Greek and Roman philosophers who we study. Their ideas about love and desire will be explored, including the definition of love. What is love? The physical symptoms of desire. What's the difference between love and desire? How and why desire should be controlled. How and why desire can be resisted. Homoerotic relationships. Ideas regarding the nature of good and bad conduct which emerge. Also the influence of Stoicism on the ideas of Seneca. How Seneca and Plato's contemporary context influenced their ideas. How these ideas might have been received by the contemporary audience are also explored. So finally, young people are thoughtless as a rule, apparently, from Homer in the Odyssey. I look forward to seeing you next year.